Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Andrew with C Brothers Gaming, and today we're going to be doing a Civilization Multiplayer Gold World War II scenario. This scenario is awesome. Well, we're going to be playing as the Russians, and what we're going to be trying to do is we're just going to try to take over the whole world. The scenario, it's an objective-based scenario, so however many Axis cities you end up taking is how you win the scenario. The scenario ends in like 1947 or something like that. But we're gonna take over the whole world because why not, right? We can win. We can take over the Axis cities, but let's take over the whole world. So let's make this a playlist. Let's do a run through here, and I'm gonna try to show you guys how it is possible. So we're gonna play on King. King being a little bit easier. I have won on deity before. Just on the objective side of things, taking over the Axis cities. I've won on deity as Russia. I've won as the Allies. Those are really the only ones that you can win on. You can't really win as France or Spain. If anyone out there has any other evidence to prove it to me, please, I would love to see that because that would be fantastic. I have seen it won on deity as the Allies. I have done it as the Allies. It's very possible to win as the Russians on deity, and you can win as quick as 20 turns, but we're not doing that today. What we're going to do is we're going to take over the whole world. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start it as king. I'm male, I will be, I am a sea brother. So, we will be sea brother. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to lower the game volume a little bit, just so that my capture sound isn't, looks like we already did that, so, fantastic. Alright, so what happens here, the Axis go ahead, and they attack Amsterdam and Paris, usually. They usually take both cities. So the fighters will scramble to protect Paris. That gives them a defensive boost against bombers. So they only have a 3 defense, but I think it ends up giving them an additional 4 times boost against the bombers. So they're going to take Amsterdam real quick. The neutrals, they just have one person in there. Allies have a couple people here. The tanks, there's just so many of them that they're just going to plow through Amsterdam. They're going to rip through Paris. Those riflemen, no city walls in Paris. They're just going to get taken out. If Paris holds, I'll be so surprised because it never holds. So there's some neutral partitions getting wrecked. Yeah, they got wrecked. And yeah, the Axis have a bunch of people on the front line here. And you'll see a pretty good battle ensuing. There's an allied tank, and here comes the tanks. Here they come into Paris, and they have a bunch of riflemen in there, but it's just not going to be enough for all those tanks that are sitting by Paris. And there goes the planes, and they're going to take it, and yeah, there it is. So, alright, so they got some people up by Leningrad, so our ceasefire with them expires, I believe, in a few turns here. So we will try to get those guys out of there. Coastal Fortress. Those are pretty cool. Looks like the Allies are going to make their move here. They'll probably sign a peace treaty with the Axis, just because that's just what happens for whatever reason. But usually the Axis will sign a peace treaty with the French and the Allies, and then they'll kind of focus their attention on you if you're Russia. So what we're going to do is we are going to try to develop these cities here. So we start off here with the tank in Kharkov. So I'm going to go into each city and just kind of try to manage it the best I can. So what you want to do is you want to look at the city improvements and see if there's anything unnecessary. So the Cathedral Colosseums, those cost a lot of money per turn, but this city is growing at 16 surplus a turn. It is going to grow so fast that we're going to need those cathedrals and Colosseums to keep our people happy. So if we look at the happiness already, you can see the temple, cathedral, and the Colosseum are already putting in work already as it is. The tank and the 2 riflemen, that's the martial law. Under the communism government that we have, those will make 2 unhappy citizens content, I believe. 2 or 3. So what we're going to do, we're going to start slamming out some engineers. We really need to develop these continent here. We need to make sure everything's roaded, get some more cities going. I would like to have about 50 cities by the time the scenario ends, so that this way I can get that war machine going. Alright, so I went up to Kiev, so I'm going to fortify the plain, so when those bombers come, this way I'll be able to hopefully get some defense going there. I'm going to switch to Alpine troops here. I need just something in there right away. I'll probably switch to a city wall or a barrack right after that just to get those guys veteran. The barracks are so critical. They have to be veteran troops. So, Krasnovodsk. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce these names. These names are silly. So, oh man. Okay, so well, not silly, but they're just difficult for me because I don't speak Russian. So, all right, Kras. Let's go ahead. Let's start with the barracks here. This is a town that's like way in the middle of nowhere, so we'll get that built. If you guys look here at Krasnoyorsk, you'll see a bunch of pollution. In the World War II scenario, pollution's eliminated, so we don't have to worry about that, which is fantastic. So, this one already has barracks in it, and it looks like they've got a couple of defensive units in there, so the surplus is 9. The surplus on these cities are going to be insane as far as the food because it's all irrigated and they're not supporting anybody. They're not supporting any engineers or anything. So under the communism, the engineers, they cost 2 food per turn to support. So cities like these can support like 3 or 4 engineers and build a supermarket in here and get this all irrigated and just really make sure that it's going. So we'll go ahead and we'll build some engineers here as well because we have a little bit of time before the Axis decide they want to attack us. So for Kursk, that's a city that's pretty close, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna switch that to a barracks right away, just so I can start building some veteran Alpine troops. So Leningrad, I'm gonna fortify this tank. The tank has 30 HP. Leningrad does have city walls, so we're gonna need some sort of stable defense in there. But I'm gonna build the barracks first, and then most likely a coastal fortress after that. I do have engineers in here, so I can get some farmland going. I'll probably work down towards this way because there's some Axis troops up there that I don't really want to mess with. Whoops, let me go back to Leningrad here. Oh man, big mistake, big mistake. Barracks, barracks. Okay, next city. Magnitogorsk. I think I got that. Alright, so these cities here, we got to start pumping out engineers right away. And look at everything that's in the cities, because sometimes they'll have like a coastal fortress on a landlocked city, which is really weird. So, yep, engineers here as well. Yeah, my cop. See, so my cop, it's all landlocked, and they have a coastal fortress here. So let's, well, we can't even tell it because they probably sold other things in the scenario. So let's go ahead and we'll switch that to a barracks. We're gonna rotate engineers and barracks, and then kind of go back and forth. So Minsk, I'm gonna pop that fighter down. Minsk is one of those on the front lines. I'll get an Alpine troop in there. See if I can get just some sort of defense going. Moscow, I'm gonna keep this plane in here. The tank, I'm going to kind of move around, maybe put him in a fortress. I do have engineers here, so I can start developing that right away. But definitely barracks first thing and foremost because we have to have some sort of veteran defensive troops and then tanks when we build them. Murmansk, the city, is interesting. It's got forests and it's got tundra. The tundra you can irrigate. They don't get any bonuses off roads, but you can irrigate that and you can put farm on that. Along with the harbor, the city can actually get pretty big. So we're going to switch that over to engineers. Keep these 2 guys in there. And then, actually, you know what? Let's take out, we'll disband this guy here. We don't need him. We'll get those engineers next turn. And then Novobrisk will fortify this rifleman. He's veteran, which is great. It already has a barracks in there, so we'll get some engineers. If you notice, these cities don't have libraries. If I were to build a library here, I'm only getting 1 science per turn. The library gives you a 50% bonus on science, and it tends to round down. So it wouldn't go to 2, it would just stay at 1, so I would be paying for something that I don't need at the moment. So we really just need to develop the cities and so forth. So Odessa, this city is tough. This is right on that front line there. I'm gonna see if I can build Alpine troops. I might lose that city. That's pretty tough, especially with how I'm gonna play this scenario. All right, Omsk, we got barracks in there, so engineers. And then Orsk, same thing. We have barracks, so we're gonna build some engineers. And then I'll check, make sure there's no like stupid coastal fortresses or anything silly like that. So. All right, Riga is one of those frontline cities, so we'll fortify this here. This city's it's gonna need barracks, I think, and then it's gonna need city walls, I believe. So here, I'm using this so I can move it here. It'll give me an extra food. And then Rostov. Okay, so Rostov has a like a little inlet here, so they do need the coastal fortress. But let's go ahead. Let's switch to the engineers right away. And I would love to get some sort of production going for the engineers. All right, so Sevastopol, I've got a couple cruisers. I've got no production in this city at all. I'll go into Odessa. I'll take it off here and then move this over there. But yeah, for now, I got nothing. So I'll build some barracks and go from there. Let me disband this transport, so I'm not supporting that. So now I got a production of 2. I'm not supporting anybody. I'll build the barracks and I'll just try to run from there. Smolensk, I've got a tank in here. Let's go ahead. Let's switch that over to barracks. I'm gonna move the tank out, and then this way I'll have some sort of offense. Stalingrad, I'm gonna take this off here, put it there. Give me an extra food. Does this have a coastal fortress? No, it doesn't. Okay. So same thing, engineers. We just got to really start developing this continent. As you can see, surplus of 18, so it can support at least 5 or so engineers and still grow pretty quick. Svoldrovsk has paratroopers. That's pretty cool because we don't even have combined arms yet, so that's pretty awesome. 35 production, so this city can start building some tanks. And or should I build an airport? Yeah, I think I'm gonna build an airport first, and then I'll build the tanks, and then I'll build an airport in like Moscow, and then I'll be able to airlift tanks pretty much every other turn. So that'll be good. Uralsk, let's go ahead and get some barracks in there. Vologda, same thing. We'll switch over to barracks here. It's probably going to hurt our income at first, but it's definitely worth it to have the barracks in your cities because the veteran troops make such a tremendous difference. So this first turn is kind of long. It just takes a while to get all your cities micromanaged and set up. Oh, the city here, Batum. This is a Turkish city right here. We're gonna take that once we're a little bit more established. But for now, I'm just gonna switch that over to the barracks, and we'll get that going. Dnei Propetrovsk. All right, so this city here, barracks right away. Gorky, we'll switch that over to engineers. So a combination of engineers and barracks, definitely the way to go. So here's Granzi, the coastal fortress. Yeah, we don't need that there because it's landlocked, so it's weird. So we'll have to come back and check on that. But yeah, barracks for sure. Actually, when I go back to like Kiev and the other city, I think I'm gonna switch those to barracks instead of the Alpine troops because we're gonna need those veterans. So let me do that real quick. Yeah, because it's only 4 turns, and I'll be able to start pumping out some veteran units. Okay, nice. So Minsk, I think, was the other one, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll make that barracks. Man, that is a first turn for the ages. So all right, so we got a tank here. So let's go ahead. Let's move this guy out, and we'll kind of get started on some city development, and we'll go from there. So we'll see if we can put him in the fort. I'm gonna keep these cruisers here next to Odessa. Let me go into Odessa real quick too. I'm gonna take off this here and put it here. I know I'm sacrificing a trade, but the reason is that Sevastopol can use that resource and get another production because they are hurting for production. I need an offshore platform or something. So, all right, let me click on my paratroopers here. And Fuldoskar. So I'm going to go into orders and I'm going to paradrop into Kubyshev. And then I'm going to skip because you can paradrop only once per turn. So Omsk has this rifleman, so I'm going to move him into Omsk. I got another rifleman. I'll just fortify him here. These guys aren't really going to be able to do much, so I'll just kind of fortify him, and I'll build fortresses around them so that, you know, when barbarians do come, I'll be able to kind of protect myself a little bit. So these tanks, we got to get these tanks across the motherland here, so there's a lot of tanks coming from Eastern Russia, and we'll get them going. Now, what I would have done if I was playing on deity is I would have put them in Krasnoyarsk. I would have rushed an airport, and then I would have rushed an airport in most likely Moscow, and then and then probably Leningrad as well, and just kind of airlifted them. But we are going to be doing it as far as the city development. So we will go ahead and just kind of get them across the land. So, all right, we got a couple tanks here, so that's good. Here's my engineer for Leningrad. So I'm gonna start farming that over there, and that's our first turn. So go ahead, we'll play a couple turns of this, and then I'll go ahead, I'll save it, and then we'll do episode 2 in the next day or so. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's play this out. And looks like it's our turn again. Okay, cool. Advanced flight for sure, just so that we can go ahead and start getting bombers. That's going to be critical. All right, Murmansk built engineers. So we'll just start farming this over here. We'll build a supermarket, but first we'll build barracks so we can get some veteran troops there. So 20 million Russians. All right, so let's get these guys in the fortresses if we can. So I'm gonna put this guy here. Here are my paratroopers. Okay. All right, paradrop into Moscow. Too far. Kursk. No, Kursk is good. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, so I will. I'll probably drop him into Kiev or Minsk. Okay, let's get this guy right here. We'll fortify him there. And Dnipropetrovsk has engineered. All right, let's start getting some roads going. All right, and then here are our tanks. Now I could follow this road to the best of my ability, which is what I will plan to do. So I'll get those guys fortified there so I can start building some fortresses so that when the barbarians come, I'll have some defense over there. But let's start farming up here because Murmansk actually can end up being a pretty powerful city if you play it right. So, alright, so that's the second turn. Alright, so let's see what the Axis do. Alright, they got a bunch of subs in the Atlantic Ocean there. Marines left. Yeah, they're going to fight with the Allies for a little bit longer here. They'll probably move some tanks into our land. I'm not going to do anything about it right now. We're just not strong enough. Wow, they're still at war with the French. That's very interesting. Normally they sign a peace treaty right away. Maybe they'll take out a couple more French cities. That'll not be good for us the first few turns because the least cities the Axis have, the better. So Marseille is a tough city to take. City walls on a river, veteran Alpine troops that are even there, so that's going to be difficult for them to take. So, alright, the Allies get advanced flight. Let's see if they have any bombers. They're still at war. Usually they sign a treaty right away. We'll eventually be fighting the Allies as well, just because we'll be fighting over like modern day Iraq and stuff like that over there. So, alright, Omsk built some engineers. So we have barracks. Let's go ahead and let's start getting some tanks going here. So that'll be good. Krasnoyarsk has some engineers. They have barracks as well. I am going to actually do that airport. I think that's probably a good idea for me. I'm not going to rush it or anything, but I think I'm going to need to do something like that. So I've got one engineer. Let's go ahead, we'll build another one in there. Magnitogorsk. What do we got here? Let's do an airport here as well. No, actually, I'm gonna try to keep it on the arm. I don't think I have the money to support the airports yet. I need to build more things. All right, my cop built barracks. Beautiful. Let's sell that coastal fortress. No need for that. And we'll get an Alpine troop in there just in case, because German tanks tend to come pretty quick. So Granzi. Yeah, coastal fortress. I don't know why they had coastal fortresses there. That's really weird. So, alright, let's get engineer going so we can start working on that. Yeah, these cities, they needed barracks really badly. Alright, Moscow, we need to defend Moscow. So we'll build some Alpine troops there. Alright, let's get this tank in the fortress. So the cool thing about fortresses is that if a unit's defeated in the fortress, then it doesn't kill them all. It only kills just the top defensive unit. So, all right, let's start getting some farming going here, because eventually we'll build a supermarket. I'll get this guy in a fortress. Yeah, eventually we'll build a supermarket, and then these cities are gonna really, with the sewer systems, they'll just get so big. They'll get to be like 30. All right, let's follow the road with the tanks. And I'm pretty sure these tanks are veteran. No, they're not veteran. Oh, I messed that up. No, they're not veteran tanks, so they might just be fodder for the Germans. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh man, this road. Should have built the airports. What am I doing? Alright, Let's start getting some roads over here. We'll probably build a city somewhere in here, connect through a railroad, and kind of get going that way. Dang, they still haven't signed a treaty. Oh man, that's insane. As here. Now they signed a treaty? We don't know. Allies still fighting. Cruiser action. Dang, they're gonna take Cherbourg too. I don't really think Usually they sign a treaty right away, so that's really weird. So the Allies will always kill these fanatics with fighters. That usually happens. Oh, the French coming back with a tank. Look at this. Nah, it didn't happen. Paratroopers and Date Nazir. Partition, taking them out. Alright, go France. Alright, so we got some engineers here. I got a bunch of riflemen here. That's interesting. Alright, let's do another engineer. Like I said, we want to have about 50 cities by the time the scenario ends. So we can go ahead and really start bumping production. So Stalingrad's going to need barracks. That's going to be one of our main hubs. It's a really good production city. It's got great food. We can get that city pretty big. Alright, Rostov. Good, it's got the coastal fortress. So let's go ahead, let's build a barracks here. Now if you notice, none of these cities have city walls too. That's definitely something that the tanks will just kind of plow their way through. So we'll have to get to that point eventually, but we'll need to have barracks in the cities first so that they're veteran. Alright, we built some engineers here. No point of building ships over here because it's just a bay. So you don't have to worry about that. Leningrad built barracks, beautiful. Still have that tank in there. Leningrad does have city walls. Let's get an Alpine troop in there first, and then we'll build a coastal fortress. Alright, so Krasnoyarsk, getting some road action going. We'll do like one or two things for each engineer, and then we'll plant a city. Just so we can get some of those cities built, because this is such good terrain and such good land. We need to utilize it. Alright, Kubyshev. Alright, let's go this way. Just start building some random farms and random roads. This guy's not supported by anything, so I'll just start using him to just start roading, and we'll put some farm down. I'll take a look at the tax rate too once they start clearing out some of this jungle. I'll take a look at the tax rate too once I'm done with moving these tanks around. Just because I want to make sure that we're making money, and then the sooner we can up our science, the better. I don't like having it at 80, 10, 10. I mean, it's good if you're just going to buy a bunch of stuff, but if we're going to take over the world, we really need to develop these cities, and we really need to plan ahead. So, alright, let's see our tax rate real quick. Alright, so I'm making, what's that, 22 gold a turn? Alright. So with all the barracks and stuff that are going to be coming in, we're probably going to lose a little bit of money, but if I road everything properly and start developing and getting a little more trade, we should be okay. And then build those new cities as well. Wow, look at this. The Axis and the French are still at war. That and the Allies, that's crazy. They usually sign that treaty, like I was saying. Coastal Fortress in Athens. Yeah, it's not gonna work out for you, Mr. Cruiser. Maybe a battleship will take it out, but that Coastal Fortress doubles the defense. So. Oh man, the French are getting wrecked. Battleship, yeah, once someone discovers rocketry and the cruise missiles, they tend to take out those battleships pretty quick. Good tactic, if you do play this game, put a battleship with an AEGIS cruiser together. Those have massive defense bonuses against missiles, the cruisers do, and then they'll always target the battleship. The AIs will always target the battleships with the cruise missiles, and then this way, the AG cruiser and AGIS cruiser will just like destroy all the missiles. So definitely a great tactic. We're trying to take out that battleship. Wow, they did it. Wow. Battleship on battleship. Ooh, who's gonna win it? Wow, they're still fighting. This is crazy. Oh, the bomber's gonna die. Yeah, they took that back. Bombers have no defense. It's like a 1 defense, and especially against a ground unit is like no way. Alright, so we got some engineers here. So again, same thing. Let's build some barracks. Start getting some veteran guys. Orsk builds more engineers. So 2 engineers is good here. I'll get an Alpine troop in there for some defense. Alright, Kiev, good. Alright, so we got the barracks there. So I'm gonna build an Alpine troop and then city walls. And then hopefully I can kind of hold what I need to hold. So I will do another engineer there as well. Smolensk, great. Let's get an Alpine and then I'll try to do city walls just to try to prevent the tanks. The tanks are going to kill us if we don't have city walls and if we don't have veteran troops. They're just going to destroy us. Alright, Stalingrad. So we got to start thinking about planting another city here. I just want to get a couple roads down. Let's get this guy over into the mainland here. Alright, so let's start planning here. Where can we put let me put a railroad here. Where can we put a city? I'm thinking probably somewhere over here we'll put our first city. Start filling in some of these gaps. Now the new cities that I'm going to build, they're not going to really be useful anytime soon. But when we utilize all this irrigation that's all over the place, the cities will grow pretty quick. And we'll start getting some good trade from these cities. Yeah, I gotta follow these roads. Really annoying. Yeah, we'll start getting some good trade from these cities, and then we can actually start making some money. So that's definitely what we want to be doing here. We want to be making money. So I'm just gonna build some roads and probably plant a couple cities. And oh man, France, come on, killing me here. Partitions against the tank, very interesting. We're still at war. Wow, it's wild. Ooh, no fighter in Southampton. Not good, allies. Not good. Oh, the neutrals. I forgot about them. Poor rifleman. Oh man, couldn't hang. Yeah, they got some tanks lurking, so that's not gonna be fun when the ceasefire expires in a few turns. I'm gonna try to hold out as long as I can. This way I can build up as quick as I can. But yeah, once that ceasefire expires, it's on. It's gonna be no peace. So. Alright, engineers done. Let's switch over to the barracks. That's kind of our game plan here. Barracks and engineers. Especially in these cities that aren't on the coast there. Stalingrad, yes. Alright, let's get another set of engineers out. Kharkov, engineers. This is one of those city anti-barracks. Okay. Cool. I'm not going to build engineers here. I don't think this can... I want to try to be able to hold this city. Oh, beautiful. Now I can start airlifting. I'll probably airlift to Moscow. So let me start building some tanks. Sevastopol. Alright, Alpine troops. They do have a coastal fortress and city wall, so that'll probably help me a little bit. Alright, so Alpine. Alright, so I'm going to disband this rifleman. He's not going to be any. I'm going to take him for the shields. Rostov. Let's just try to get this stuff roaded here. Alright, so let's see. Where can I build a city? I'm thinking... How about right here? I like that spot right there. Kaylin. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to switch this over to that. And then we're just going to switch to Alpine. I'm just going to let it build. I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to spend any of my gold or anything like that. But I do want to try to generate as many cities as I can. Alright, Moscow. Are you building an airport? Not any. Yes, now you need an airport. 8 turns. That's okay. I'm going to fortify my veteran Alpine. I'll disband one of these random riflemen. Give me some shields. A little more production. And we'll keep farming and keep irrigating and roading. Alright, I feel like these tanks are they're getting there. This is the probably hardest part in the beginning, is setting up all your cities. So it's really critical that you take the time to go through and to manage them, because if you don't, it's gonna be hard. You're not gonna really get very far. So alright, so we got a tank. Switch over to an Alpine troop. I do have an engineer working out in the field there. I'll eventually build a supermarket just to get that extra food bonus, but he's going to join his friends. And now I have a veteran tank out in the field, which will be super helpful once that ceasefire expires. So let's go ahead, let's get another city going. I like that spot up there. I'll get it. Looks like I'm not going to get it till next turn. Get that roaded. And it looks like all my stuff is roaded there. So, okay, so far so good there. I'll build another city there. So we'll play another turn or two, and then I'll go ahead and we'll cut out for today. Allied Southampton. Tough. Destroyed. Oh man, France. Oh. Wow, still fighting. It's crazy. Why are they trying to build engineers? Athensburg's coastal. Oh, it has a coastal fortress. A battleship that might take it out. Or is it not take it out? Marines? Yeah, that might work actually. Yeah, that did. Oh, now they signed a treaty. Okay, that makes sense. Now they're gonna focus on me, which is not cool. That's unfortunate, but we're gonna be ready for it. We will be ready. Oh yeah, come on, freight. Bring me some trade. Interesting. Destroyer, check that out real quick. Alright, so we'll play one more turn here and then we'll go ahead and we'll call it. So alright, I got barracks, so Alpine troops for sure. More engineers from Kazan. Alright, we need barracks here as well. Rostov, build barracks, beautiful. And I have an engineer there already. Alright, cool. So let's get an Alpine troop in there for some defense. Eventually I'll start building some fighters as well. I'm gonna need the fighters to basically defend against the Axis bombers. So I'm gonna build one here for now. It's not gonna be veteran, but it'll give me something to start with. Alright, let's build another set of engineers. City building, that's what it is. Alright, so I think right there is going to be a good spot. Alright, Omsk built a tank, so I'll get another one of those guys. I don't have an airport here, do I? Nah, should have built an airport. Not smart. But we will build engineers, and we are going to build more cities. Alright, let's follow the road. Get some more tanks out there. And then I like this spot right here. So we'll go ahead and we'll build another city there. Looks good. Alpine troops for sure. We'll let that city kind of grow. Not really too worried about any barbarians or anything for now. I'll get a farm there. Alright, let's get some roads going here. Alright, Granzi. Yeah, we need more roads, guys. Let's mine this oil. That's going to be good. Alright, come down this way. Kharkov. Yeah, we just gotta keep roading. Just keep roading. Alright, so it looks like my guys are in the mainland, which is great. Because then they will give me some sort of defense here. I gotta be careful with the access, because they have paratroopers. And the paratroopers can just land in the cities if you don't have anyone in there, so that's definitely something that I need to be careful with. So, alright, farmland done. And let's build another city. We will build it right there. Okay, cool. So that will be, we'll build a city there, and then probably another one up there. And then if I come back over here, whoops, my bad. Okay, if I come back over here, I gotta kind of figure out how to fill this gap in here. So I'm thinking probably right here would be a good one, and then maybe right there would be another one, or right there. So I'll get those two filled in as well on the next episode. I got my tanks going across, so they should get there by the time the Axis tanks decide to attack. We'll check in Minsk. Alpine troop almost done, and Alpine troop almost done. Okay, so these cities here are pretty critical, and then Riga barracks almost done. So that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed my little initial playthrough here. We'll go ahead and pick this back up for episode 2. But other than that, you guys take care. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys soon for some more C Brothers Gaming. Thanks.